Now, as far as motorcycle brands go, very few can actually boast having this sort of heritage that Triumph has. It's a great British company that offers bikes that harks back in time. Which time? Which era? Well, I'm talking about the swinging 60s that's all about sexiness and rock and roll. And this is the Bonneville T100. Now, even though this looks like a classic bike, it is thoroughly modern. So we're here to find out if this bike really is all the modern stuff that it says it is, but also how much of the 60s it has retained in its styling and also in its practicality. Let's go and check it out. Now, one of the most recognizable buildings in KL, apart from the Twin Towers of course, is this building behind me, which is the Sultan Abdul Samad building. It was built in 1894 by a certain architect by the name of A.C. Norman, and it looks great now as a tourist attraction. So if it ain't broken, why fix it? The same formula goes for this bike over here. Very British in influence, very British in design. This bike has looked like this for the longest time, and if it's not broken, why fix it? It's a beautiful bike. You will see that we get the spoke wheels on the T100 as opposed to the sportier number in the regular Bonneville, and it just adds to the look of the bike. You have a beautiful wheel fender up front along with the guards, and as you come from the wheel towards the cockpit area, you will realize that there's a lot of chrome in this bike. Headlamps, the handlebars, the rear view mirrors, even the indicator lights, they're all chrome, and it just looks fantastic. Now, whilst the chrome looks great, as you come here to the back, you will come to the center part of the bike, which is really the heart of the Bonneville T100, which is the engine. This parallel twin has no coverings on it. It is there because it wants to be seen, it wants to be looked at, and it is a glorious looking machine. Then as you come over here, you will see that you get this different seat as compared to the regular Bonneville. This slab seat is just big, wide, and very comfortable. And also because it doesn't have any lumps and stuff like that, it actually gives any rider, regardless of any height, the comfort to sit on this bike very, very comfortably. Now, of course, as you come to the back, you will see that the idea of making this bike looking retro just continues all the way to the back. When you see the double shock absorbers at back, again, it gives you the sensation that you're looking at something not very modern, but it is working in a very modern kind of way. But to me, the showstopper indeed are the pea shooter exhaust, which is specifically tuned for this T100. So, as classic as it may look, we're gonna find out exactly if this bike rides and feels like a modern machine. Now, the Triumph Bonneville T100 really is a bike that would be great in any city in the world. Why? Because it is just show and traffic stoppingly beautiful. I have had honks and people waving at me only because this bike really does look really, really gorgeous. And you might be thinking, yeah, a Harley Davidson also gets that sort of attention. Well, yes, they do, but a Triumph is just that much rarer, and I think that just adds value to it, right? Now, the riding position is very comfortable. As I mentioned earlier, we've got these wide seats and they just give a lot of real estate for any rider of any height. This bike, you know what, despite the weight of just over 200 kilograms, it's actually very easy to maneuver, and also the bike itself, the dimensions of the bike, it's a doddle to ride in town. When you're stuck in traffic, you don't have hot air blowing at you. It's just comfortable, seriously. And on top of that, the low seat height means you can actually stand very comfortably. I mean, like, I'm 5'11" and I have both feet firmly planted on the ground, and it's not tiring at all. Right then, trying for us to crunch some numbers. I want to talk a little bit about the performance of this bike. It comes with an 865cc parallel twin, as mentioned earlier, and this is a unit that we know is very smooth, it's very creamy, and it is paired to a 5-speed gearbox. Nothing fancy at all, everything is you know, run by cable, and this bike pushes out about 68 brake horsepower as well as 68 Newton meters of torque. The bike is also very nimble, it's easy to maneuver. The brakes are very light, it's a two-finger operation kind of brake. You get a single disc up front and also a single disc out back. You don't get ABS with this unit, yeah, I think that's the one thing that I wish this bike had. I think any bike out there should just have ABS nowadays because it's just that much safer, right? This is what riding a Triumph Bonneville is all about, man. You're riding through the city, you get all the sights and the smells and the sound coming at you on a very good looking bike. What more can you ask for? So the Triumph Bonneville T100 really takes two parts of the best of both worlds and puts it together. You've got great styling and a bike that really harks back to the good old days of classic looking bikes, and also the thorough modernity that is required in today's bike. So this is the bike really for you to enjoy looking great on, but also at the same time having the peace of mind that this bike is going to be reliable and the performance is going to be up to par. However, that's not to say that this is the perfect bike. There are some niggling issues, such as this non-lockable fuel cap, and also this stand, which is a little bit difficult to find if you're wearing boots like mine. And also when you found it, it leaves a scuff mark on the exhaust pipe. But apart from that, and also the slightly slidey seats if you go very fast. Apart from all that, this is the bike really for those who want to look great and feel great at the same time.